Okay, so great evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us again on another exciting Upgrade Mastery Just for You. This is the Upgrade Mastery Just for You, and we're super excited to have you join us again for another exciting episode. So, yes, this is the last Friday in the month of November. Yes, how has November been for you? What have you done in November? Have you had an amazing month? Have you had things you're grateful for in this month of November? So for me, November has been amazing. November has been phenomenal, right? Outside of the fact that November was my birthday, but in all of this, I have been grateful to God for the month of November, the things we've been able to achieve, the tasks we've been able to accomplish, the goals we set, and how we're able to achieve them. That's November for me. But how are you? How was November for you? This is the last Friday in the month of November. And we're super excited that God has kept us to this point, and we are glad that we are here now. So, how was November for you? What did you do in November? What can you look back and say, oh, I'm excited for this in November. I'm glad that this happened for me in November. What can you look back in November and say, yes, November was an amazing, amazing month for me? Anyways, November is done and dusted. And we are just less than how many days to the end of 2025? Just like yesterday, we're singing Happy New Year. And today, this is where we are now in 2025. Amazing journey we've had so far in 2025. How's it been for you? How's 2025 been for you? What are the things that you can look back and say, wow, I've been able to do this, I've been able to do that? 2025 has been a roller coaster, right? But in all of it, we can attest to the fact that the mercy of God always comes through, right? The favor of God always comes through for us in this year. And we're glad that we are alive. Despite all the things that we have gone through, God has been faithful and God has kept us. So, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the last time in November, and by next week, we'll be doing a Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Yes, we're going to be doing Feliz Navidad from next week because we're in the Christmas season. So, how are you doing? Basically, let's talk about you because this is Upgrade Mastery just for you. So, how are you doing? How are you holding up? How are you looking forward to the Yuletide season? How are you looking forward to the Christmas festivities? Are you going to be traveling? Are you going to just be resting? What are your plans, right? I think this year's Christmas is going to start early because a lot of businesses, organizations are trying to wind down early. So perhaps there'll be a longer holiday than usual. So, what are your plans? What are your plans? But before we get into that, let's take a feedback for November. How's November been for you? There have been some losses, some challenges, some setbacks. How's it been for you? But in all of this, the month is almost over, and we are glad that God has kept us through. That's the most important thing. We are seeing the end of the month. The month is not seeing the end of us. That's the most important thing. So many activities in November that I look back to God and I'm grateful for, right? Beginning from November 1st till now. And I'm just thankful to God for everything that's happened in the month of November. But what about you? It's not about me. What about you in the month of November? You know, we've had an amazing set of conversations this November, the chief of which is let go of lots, right? Let go of lots, which we had last week. And it was an amazing conversation for let go of lot because we had to discuss things that we should pay attention to, that we need to let go in our lives, things that represent lot. You know, like I said last week, you cannot do a lot with lots, right? And with lot, you will go through a lot. But yet, some people feel that, oh, that was just a rhyme. It was something I was just trying to make sound nice. But it's actually the truth. You really cannot do a lot with lots, and you will go through a lot with lots. So it's important and in your best interest that you let go of lots. Now, for last week, we took the conversation from Genesis 13, where Abraham and Lot had the strife among their headsmen, and then Abraham had to tell Lot to pick any side, that if he go to the right, he will go to the left, and all of that. But beyond that, today we're going to do let go of Lot part 2. And the reason why we're talking about the part 2 is this, because there are many other things that represent Lot in our lives that we need to let go. So it's not just the physical Lot as a person. You know, from Genesis 13, we could see that Lot was actually a human being, Abraham's cousin that he had to let go. And then after Lot left, God came and spoke to Abraham. And you know how the story plays out. Lot goes to Sodom, and Sodom was later destroyed. Lot came out of Sodom, but just his two daughters, and Lot ended up in a cave, and the two daughters made him drunk, and they slept with him. So Lot's story did not end as they expected, right? So that was Lot. But the part of the conversation for us was technically about Abraham letting go of Lot, because at that point, Lot was becoming an opposition to him. Lot was becoming a stumbling block. Lot was becoming someone who was going to not let Abraham focus on his own journey. Now, it's from that perspective we're going to look at today to let us know what are the things that represent Lot in our own lives that we also need to let go. Because one of the things I've realized that people don't many talk about is the fact that many times holding on will hurt you more than letting go. I'll say that again. Many times holding on will hurt you more than letting go, which means the more you hold on to the things that represent Lot in your life, those things will cause you more harm than if you let those things go. So it's always in your best interest that you let go of Lot and anything that represents Lot in your life. A lot of things can represent Lot. And that's from the perspective we're going to be having this conversation. A lot of things can represent Lot. A lot of things. Are you getting this? A lot of things can represent Lot. That's what we're going to take this conversation from, because you really need to now figure out the things that are lots in your life and you need to let go. That's the basis of this conversation today, because we really need to talk about it. You know, last time we just dealt with Abraham and Lot and look at it from the scriptural perspective. But today, beyond the scriptural perspective, which we are going to also look at, we want to look at the life implication. What are the things, the situations, the people, the circumstances, the experiences that represent Lot that we need to let go of? Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So when you understand this, you will realize that it behoves on you to take the responsibility to let Lot go. You know, one of the things we said last week was the fact that Lot on his own won't go. You have to let go of Lot. Right? So which means you have a responsibility to play in letting Lot go. The responsibility that you need to play in letting Lot go. Because Lot on his own will not go. Right? Lot on his own will not go. You have to let Lot go. You have to be ruthless in cutting off from Lot. Right? There's a responsibility that you have to take. You have to be ruthless in cutting off from Lot. And then you have to respond accordingly when Lot is gone. So these are three arrows that we're going to look at towards the end of this conversation. First, the responsibility to let Lot go. Next, your ruthlessness in letting Lot go. And the third thing, your response now that Lot is gone. These are three areas that we're going to look at the end of this conversation to help you understand why this is important. But before we get into those three areas of the responsibility, the ruthlessness, and the response, we're going to talk about what are some of the things that could be Lot in our lives that we need to let go, right? I'm not going to put them in any kind of alphabetical order or hierarchy, but I'll just explain them. I'll just mention them and explain them, right? So while I was thinking about this conversation, the things that came to my mind that could be lots that people need to let go are a few, right? Number one, they could be friends, right? Number one could be friends. Number two could be habits. Number three could be perspective. Number four could be blind spots. Number five could be unforgiveness. Number six could be envy. Number seven could be grief. Number eight could be good things. right? So these are 8 different things I'm going to talk about that could be lot. And anything that you mention in the comment as lot, I'm also going to talk about it. And then we'll get into our 3 R's, which talk about your responsibility, your ruthlessness, and your response, right? So let's begin with friends. Yeah, let's begin with friends. Now, one of the greatest gifts anyone could have in their lives are the gift of friendship, the gift of friends, right? Friends come into your space, friends come into your life, and they are supposed to make your life better. Even scripture tells us that there's a friend that still gets closer than a brother, right? It tells us that a brother is born for adversity, but a friend loves at all times. So, there's so much about friendship, right? But it also gets to a certain stage in our life and in our journey where those same friendships become lots in our life. They become our opposition. They become our own stumbling block. They become the ones who don't want to see us rise and shine. Those same friendships. And when those things begin to happen, then you should realize that those friends are no longer friends, but they are now lots. And like I said, lot on its own will not go. You have to let go of lots. So how do you know friends that have become lots in your life? Remember, I told us last week, you cannot do a lot with lots, and with lots, you will go through a lot. So how do you deal with friends who have now become lots? How did they become lots? They're not there to support. They're not there to encourage you. They're not there to cheer you on, but they are there to remind you of your flaws. They are there to let you know that you're not doing well. They are there to put you down. They are there to make you not believe in yourself. They are there to doubt your dream. They are there to dim your light. Those people are no longer friends. They are now lots. And whenever people switch their disposition to becoming lots, that is cue for you to also let them go, because you have to let go of anything, anyone that looks like lot in your life, because you will not be able to do a lot with lot, and also you will go through a lot with lot. So when you have friends who are no longer playing the roles of friends in your life, they are now foes. They are now frenemies, right? They are friends that have become enemies. They are friends who don't want to see you become all that you can be. They are friends who don't want to encourage and support and motivate and inspire. They're just there to know what's happening to you, so they have first-hand information on how to deal with you. Those people are no longer friends, but they are now lost. And whenever people become lost, it's time for you to let them go. I don't know how long you may have been friends. I don't know how you guys were able to cut the covenant of the friendship. But by the time it no longer serves its purpose, they have become lost. And when friends have become lost, that is cue for you to let go of lot. I don't know if any one of us have had friends who at some point they were friends, but now they're no longer friends. Right? I believe at some point you should have had that experience. People who you thought they were your ride or die, or ride or die, right? And now they can't even ride with you, talk less of die. They have become lost. They are now become your main opposition. They are now in strife with you. Scripture says in Proverbs, it says, where there is no wood, the fire will go out. And then it says, gossip separates friends. When you have friends who the only reason they are in your space is to get information to share with the world about you that should have been confidential, they are no longer friends. They are now lost. Because you see, in Genesis 13, Abraham was prospering, Lot was prospering, and then Lot's servant began to have strife with Abraham's servant. So when you have friends who sees you as a competition, instead of seeing you as a collaboration or a complementation, They are no longer friends, they are now lords. And then what do you do to such people? You let go of them. You let go of them. There's literally nothing you're going to do because they have made their mind to become that to you. You have been good to them. You have been amazing towards them. You have given your best to them. But now they are no longer serving you. In fact, they are disempowering you rather than empowering you. So they are no longer friends. So you would have to let them go. Remember, it's your responsibility, it's your ruthlessness, and it's your response to let go of Lot. Because Lot on his own will not go. You know, I was speaking with someone recently, and I said that when you look at the biology relationship that we're taught in biology, talk about mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, all of those things, you could see that when it comes to parasitism, it says one animal benefits while the other gets harmed in parasitism. That's why it's a parasite. One benefits, the other gets harmed. Right? So that's not a good relationship. It's parasitic. And then in symbiosis, right? Parasitism, commensalism, mutualism. Okay, in mutualism, both benefits is mutual. In that relationship, both benefits, right? And then there is commensalism, where one benefits, but the other is not harmed, right? But when friendship becomes lots, it is now parasitic. One person benefits, the other person gets harmed, and that is not good. So if it is not mutualism or at worst commensalism, it's time to let go of Lot. Because to what end that you get harmed while the other benefits and you call it friendship? That's not friendship. I don't know what that is, but that's not friendship. Because in true friendship, both parties should benefit and both parties should not be harmed. That's what scripture says, iron sharpens iron, and so a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. Both should benefit if it's friendship. That's why they always say friendship should never be one-sided. Both should benefit. Are you getting this? Both should benefit. So that's the first area that we're going to look at in Let Go of Lot Part 2. The first area is friends. Who are the friends that you may need to let go? Who are those friends that you may need to let go? You have to be brutally honest with yourself. Remember, when it comes to let go of Lot, it's your responsibility, it's your ruthlessness, and it's your response to let go of Lot. No one's going to do it for you. Number 2, your habits. Now, remember, letting go of Lot is not just about the people in your space. It also talks about the habits that you have taken on. You know, your habits are the things that you do that you love to do. Right? They are the things that you enjoy doing. They are the things that you would naturally find yourself doing. You also need to realize that some of those habits can become lots to you. Some of those habits can become opposition to the person you are becoming. So you need to be able to identify what those habits are and also let them go. Let's say, for instance, you have the habit of being lazy. That's lots for you. That's a lot. You know, I used to say this, that the rate at which youths are becoming so lazy is a proof that the spirit of laziness is so hardworking. They forget the clock is ticking and they continue as mediocres and the whole world see them as jokers. Now, Why do I say this? It's because for some people, laziness is a habit that has become lot to them. So the things they would naturally do, they are too lazy to themselves to even do it. So at this point, the lot is not an external factor. The lot is an internal factor. Their laziness, that habit, that is the lot. And you would be the one to actually let go of this lot. Your laziness, you have to be the one to let it go. That habit of laziness, you have to be the one to let it go. For some others, the sleep. Even Proverbs says it. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, and poverty will come upon you like an armed man. For some people, their lot is sleep. The time they will be using to do something productive with their lives, they're sleeping. Yes, I know. You need to sleep 8 hours for you to be healthy. Yes, but come on. Sleep should not become a lot in your life. Besides, the Ecclesiastes says there's a time for everything. There's a time to sleep. But if you are sleeping every time, sleep has become a lot in your life. And you have to deal with that habit of sleeping. Am I against sleeping? No, but I'm against sleeping when sleeping has become a lot in your life. Because you need to let go of anything that is lots. So if the habit is sleeping, you have to let it go. Another habit that you may need to let go is excessive spending. Some people, they are impulsive, they are always spending. Yes, you need to know how to spend. But yes, they're impulsive. They don't think through before they spend. That too is a lot you need to let go. You need to let go. You know, some people will say, oh, it's the person that's alive that saves. Okay, that is your habit of excessive spending, impulsive spending, speaking. And that is a lot that you have to let go. So there are several habits that people have that has become lots to them that they need to let go. The truth of the matter is this: you will need to tell yourself the truth and determine the habits that is stopping you from becoming all that you can be. Because let me tell you this, guys, your habits can stop you. I'll say that again. Your habits can stop you. You know, back in the day when I do coaching programs, I'll tell my client that they should write out 3 things that they need to stop, then 3 things that they need to start, and then 3 things that they need to learn. Now, the reason why I always start with 3 things that they need to stop is because if you don't stop some things, the things you plan to start, what you have not stopped will stop what you are about to start. Did you get that? If you don't stop some things, whatever it is that you're about to start, what you have not stopped will stop what you're about to start. So that's why there are habits that you need to let go as lots before you can become all that you can be. Because you from becoming all that you can be. Laziness is one. Sleep is another. Excessive spending is another. Procrastination is another habit that stops a lot of people. They keep procrastinating. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it some other time. Oh, I'll do it next time. And those times never come. You know, procrastination is you expecting God to give you another opportunity to do tomorrow what He expects you to do today. But you keep procrastinating. That is a habit that is stopping you from becoming all that you can be. That is a lot that you need to let go. So when we say let go of lots, there are habits that you know, that you practice, that you have to let go. Otherwise, those habits will not let you grow. Are you getting it? Some habits you need to let go so that you can grow. So identify your habits. Be brutally honest with yourself and then let go of those habits. Say you cannot change a habit, you can replace the habit. You can replace the habit. So you can replace laziness with the habit of hard working. You can replace the habit of sleep with staying awake. You can replace the habit of excessive spending to spending on a budget. You can replace the habit of procrastination with taking action. So you need to replace the habits that you're about to let go, like Lot. Number one, friends. Number two, the habits. Number three, the perspective. You know, they say 12, 6 is half a dozen. For someone, 6 is 6. For another, it's half a dozen. It's perspective, right? So there are also perspective that you have to let go. There are people who have certain perspective that is holding them back. People that have the perspective to make it in life, forgetting that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Some people have the perspective that, oh, if it is not right, it is not right. Perspective. Some people have the perspective that, oh, if they don't earn in foreign currency, they probably won't make it in life. So there's a lot of perspective that people hold there, a lot of perspective. But the question is, the perspective that you have to yourself, is it a world view that you have, or is it a perspective that is limiting your world view? You know the saying that you don't see things the way they are, you see things the way you are. Why? Because you see things based on your perspective. Perspective are the lens through which you see the world. So if you're wearing a blue lens, everything you see will be blue. That's perspective. And then if you take off the blue lens, everything you see will no longer be blue. That's perspective. So that lets us know that there's certain perspective that we have that we need to let go. For instance, people have the perspective that all men are cheats. That's the wrong perspective. People have the perspective that all men are not faithful. That's the wrong perspective. People have the perspective that all women just want to eat money. That's the wrong perspective. You see, a lot of people have certain perspectives that they need to let go. People have perspective that, oh, be chaste in relationship. That's the perspective that some people need to let go. So the question is, what are the perspectives that you hold to be true that are not, that you will have to let go? See, guys, this conversation is very practical to our everyday life, because the truth is this: whatever perspective you have affects the life that you live. Because that's how you see yourself, and that's how you see the world. It's from your perspective. Like I said, it's the lens. It's the lens. So if your lens is already tainted, everything else you see will be tainted. It's the lens. So your perspective that doesn't empower you, you should let it go. The perspective that limits you, perspective that doesn't serve you, they have become lots that you need to let go. So let go of those perspectives. Let go of those perspectives. They have become lots. They become your opposition. They become a stumbling block to you. They become things that will not allow you to grow. Because as you hold on to those perspectives, it limits how you express yourself in the world. It limits how you show up in the world. It limits how you do what you can do in the world based on your perspective. So you see, it's important and it's critical that you get to let it go. Let it go. Is it going to be difficult? Yes, but you have to let it go because this perspective doesn't serve you. It doesn't. So why hold on to something that doesn't serve you? It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. Another area that you may need to let go is an area that I call the blind spot. Now, this part is even more dicey because this is even a part that is known to others but unknown to you. That you do, but you don't even realize that you do them. And it's part of the things that have become lots to you that you have to now let go. This is even more dicey because many times people argue about their blind spot. They say it's not true. Everybody can see it, but they say no, it's not true. They argue it. That's how we say when it comes to your blind spot, listen, don't argue. Be curious, don't be furious. Because sometimes when you try to give people feedback about the blind spot that they have, they tend to be argumentative. They tend to be furious. No, accept it as feedback. Make the necessary adjustment. It's something that you can never see because it's blind to you, but everyone else can see it. But just you, that is just blind to it. That's why it's called blind spot. It's blind to you, but the spot is obvious to everyone. But what you can do in cases like that is to accept it as feedback and work on yourself. Even scripture says, he that the Lord loves, he chastises, he corrects. So when you be a better person, it's not to bring you down. It's not to make you feel less of yourself. No, that's not it. It's to help you. So when your blind spots are pointed out to you, like I said, listen, don't argue. Be curious, don't be furious. And make the necessary adjustments. Don't defend it. Don't defend it. Because if you're blind spot, you would never see it. You would never see it. But it's obvious. It's there. And everyone else can see it. See, guys, it's important that you realize when your blind spot becomes, like I said, the Lord can be anything, anyone that will hold you back from becoming all that you can be. And Lot on his own will never go. You have to be the one to let go of Lot. Lot on his own will never go. Lot is willing to stay with you for the rest of your life. But once you know that you cannot do a lot with Lot, and with Lot, you will go through a lot, you would receive sense to let go of Lot or anything that represents Lot in your life. So I've told us 4 things that represent Lot that we should let go. Number 1, some friends are lots that needs to go. Number 2, some habits. There are lots that need to go. Number 3, some perspective. There are lots and they need to go. Number 4, blind spots. There are lots and they need to go. These are 4 things. Remember, I told you 8. These are the first 4 that you need to let go. So if you see yourself operating in this first 4 I've talked about, whether it's your friends, whether it's your habits, whether it's your perspective, whether it's your blind spot, you need to let go of lots. Let go of it. The other 4, right? Unforgiveness. You know, there are things that people have done to us that truly hurt, right? People have used us, abused us, maltreated us, did any and everything to us that they are not even remorseful about, but we still harbor unforgiveness towards them. And the truth about the matter is this: unforgiveness puts you in a prison. So it doesn't profit you anything to harbor unforgiveness. It ruins your mood, it ruins your happiness, it steals your peace, it makes you want to have vengeance. It's just not a good thing to have, unforgiveness. But yet, a lot of people harbor unforgiveness. In fact, there's some people who have unforgiveness towards people who are even dead. My point is this: unforgiveness is part of the lots that you may need to let go. You say, oh, but they did not apologize. They've not come to say, I'm sorry. They never will come. They may never apologize. Why are you going to harbor that unforgiveness for the rest of your life? Look at it. Who truly is in the prison when you have unforgiveness? If you have unforgiveness towards, they're living their lives. They can't even remember they offended you or they upset you in time past. They can't remember. They've moved on. But you are still carrying that unforgiveness. Somebody who's still having that hatred towards their math teacher in primary 4. Primary 4. Math teacher. You've graduated now, but you still have that unforgiveness. It's time to let go of that lot. You've carried that weight for ages. Let it go. Even scripture tells us in 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. And in Matthew, he tells us to bring all our burdens. All of you that are weary and heavy laden, I will give you rest. Why? Because you need to have forgiveness towards people. Do they have to deserve it? No. Do you have to forgive them? You have to let go. Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. Yes, what they did was wrong. Yes, they truly scarred you. Yes. But having unforgiveness towards them doesn't heal you. Do you get that? Yes, they hurt you, they scarred you, they traumatized you, but having unforgiveness towards them still does not heal you. So it's double jeopardy for you. You are hurting, you are unforgiving. That is the lot that you need to let go. Unforgiveness. I know it's hard, but you have to let go so that you can become all you can be. Because the thing with Lot is that Lot is designed to stop you. Lot is synonymous to the thorn in your flesh. Lot is there to stop you. It's there to become an opposition to you. So it is in your best interest that you offer forgiveness. You offer forgiveness. That is an easy way for you to let go of lots. True forgiveness. Notice in Genesis 14, Abraham still went to rescue Lot from the hands of 4 kings. If Abraham had had unforgiveness towards Lot, with the way Lot left, he would not do that. He would not do that. You after all, he's the one that has been captured. I'm free with my family. He's on his own. No, Abraham still went and rescued Lot. He went to rescue Lot. Why? Because he understood that unforgiveness becomes a stumbling block to him. Not even to Lot, to him. Because notice that after Lot left Genesis 13, immediately Lot left, God came and spoke to Abraham. I told Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, I will give unto you and your seed. So immediately Abraham saw the whole world. But that was after Lot has left. And that means that Abraham did not have any form of unforgiveness towards Lot. Because if he did, God wouldn't have showed up. God could see the sincere Abraham's heart. And he knew that he had nothing against Lot, regardless of how Lot left. Now, many times we don't understand the intricacy between Lot and Abraham. Lot was Abraham's brother's son. Abraham's brother had died, so Abraham was standing instead of Lot's father towards Lot. Lot went with him, so he allowed Lot to come with him. And because Lot was with him, Lot was being blessed the same way Abraham was being blessed. So Lot was the first robber of the Abrahamic blessing. And yet it was still Lot's servant who was having issues with Abraham's servant, in which Abraham had to intervene and say, Lot, if you go to the left, I will go to the right. Wherever you choose, I will go the opposite. So at least we will not have this strife because we are brethren. And Lot, to think that Lot will have sense, would have said, oh, Abraham, you are the elder. I cannot choose before my elder. You make your choice and I will take the other. Lot saw the place of Zoar and went there. It looked like the garden of the Lord. He went there, not knowing that where he was going to will soon be destroyed. Unforgiveness. Abraham had nothing against Lot, regardless of what Lot had did. So it was in that mode Lot left Abraham, feeling like, oh, I have made the wise choice. I've benefited more than Abraham. Yet, the next chapter, Genesis 14, when Lot was captured, Abraham was still the one who took 380 men from his own household to go and fight 4 kings and rescue Lot. Same Abraham. If he didn't have unforgiveness towards Lot, he would not do that. Unforgiveness can become a lot that holds you back. A lot that holds you back. And it's not just a lot that holds you back physically, it's also a lot that holds you back spiritually. So unforgiveness is a double-edged sword. It deals with you physically, it deals with you spiritually. Is it worth it? It's not. So let go of unforgiveness. It's a lot you need to let go. Another lot you need to let go is the lot of envy. Let me tell you how that lot of envy plays out today. It plays out in a very simple sentence. God when. God when. When people do things, people have things going for them, and the first thing you hear is God when. And I say this categorically. God when is a low budget envy. When people have envy towards others, they mask it in God when. That's how they mask it, God when. No, that is envy. It is part of the lot you need to let go. Envy. Let it go. I've said this over and over again. Someone is succeeding does not mean you are failing. Someone is succeeding does not mean you are failing. There's no room for envy. Rejoice with them. Be glad for them. But move on with your journey. Don't have envy towards another, because envy is a lot that you need to let go. Envy is a lot. As God when. That's how you demonstrate envy today. When something happens for someone, instead of you to be genuinely, sincerely happy, you are saying God when. God when is low budget envy. Tell your neighbor that. Put that on your status. Mr. Upgrade 2025. God when is low budget envy. God when is low budget envy. And you need to stop that, because that is also gutter behavior. Envy is a gutter behavior. You need to let go of lots. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? The next that you need to let go of is grief. Grief. Yes, grief. You know, the matter still remains. No matter how much you grieve, it won't change what you are grieving about. Grief can become a stumbling block for you. Yes, grief can become a stumbling block for you. So you need to also let go of grief, because grief can become a lot. Yes, I know what happened. I genuinely console you, and I pray the Holy Spirit will comfort you. But if you hold the grief longer than you should, that grief becomes a lot for you. That grief becomes a lot for you. So you must now learn to know when to let go of the grief. Now take note, I'm not saying don't grieve. I'm not saying don't feel bad. I'm not saying don't cry. I'm not saying don't mourn. But I'm saying you must also know when to wrap it up and let it go. It hurts. You never expected it. But you must also learn to wrap it up, wrap up the grief, and let go. Wrap up the grief and let go. Why? Because that would help you as a person. Because see, grief will steal your joy. Grief will steal your peace. Grief will make you question God in ways you should not be questioning God. Grief, that's what it can do to you. Grief can mess you up mentally, psychologically, emotionally. Grief can mess you up big time. Grief, it can mess you up. It can even give you reasons to be suicidal. It can give you reasons to even doubt the essence and the existence of God. Grief can mess you up. And the sad part with grief is that nobody can actually see it. It plays with your psyche. It plays on your mind. Nothing is good at mind games like grief. So am I saying you shouldn't grieve? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying even when you grieve, know when to let go of the grief so that the grief do not become a lot. Because the whole essence of our conversation today is to let go of lots and anything that could represent lots. Anything. Anyone that could represent lots. You have to let it go. See, even if tuning in to Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade on the Mr. Upgrade Global channel becomes a lot for you, you can also let it go. That's how real I am with you. Even if I become a stumbling block to you, you should also let me go. You should let me go. If I'm the one that stands between you and your greatness, you should let me go. Don't hold on. Let me go. Are you getting this? So grief is another major thing that holds some people back. It just holds them back. It keeps them in a spot. Grief. You must also now learn to let go of grief. And then another thing you need to let go is to let go of good things. See, let me tell you, good things can stop you from getting great things. I'll say that again. Good things can stop you from getting great things. So which means you need to also know when good things have become lots that you need to let go of. You know, when they say that the enemy of your great is good, by Jim Collins' book, is a reminder to all of us there are some points in our journey, some seemingly good things can become a distraction. Seemingly good things can become a distraction. Seemingly good things can become a stumbling block. Seemingly good things can become a lot in our life. Good things. So see, good things are not an exception. So it's a good thing. That's why even some people that are good to you are not good for you, because some good things can become lot. Are you getting this? Even people that are good to you cannot be good for you. So know when to draw the line. Even when it comes to good things, know when to draw the line. I don't know who this is for, but I need you to know this. There's some things that are happening for you right now. They are good. Literally, they are good. But those same things can also become lot to the same you. That's why when it comes to let go of lot, you cannot spare anything. Anything that rises up as lot, you need to let it go. Anything, anyone, let it go. Let go. Will it be difficult? Yes, it will be difficult. But is it going to be worth it? Emphatically, yes, it will be worth it. So these are the areas where we feel represent lots in people's lives that they need to let go. Right? You may not even see yourself in any of this age, but I believe that if you are brutally honest with yourself, there will be one in this age that talks to your situation. One among these eight. Either be friends, either be habits, either be perspective, either be blind spots, either be unforgiveness, either be envy, either be grief, either be good things. There will be one among all four that represents what you are currently going through that you should let go of lot. One out of these eight. In fact, some people are 8/8. Literally, some people are 8/8 in all I have said. 8/8. Now, I said I'm going to tell us how do we really let go of lots. I said there are 3 arrows that we need to practice. Now we know the 8 things. We need to know the 3 arrows that helps us. Number 1, responsibility. It is our responsibility to let go of lots. Whatever shape or size they come in, whether it's unforgiveness, whether it's envy, whether it's grief, whether it's good things, it is our responsibility to let them go. Our responsibility, like I told us, lot left alone will not go. You need to let lot go. You need to let lot go. Lot left alone will not go. So letting lot go is your responsibility. I have to let go of this friend. I have to let go of this habit. I have to let go of this perspective. I have to let go of this envy. I have to let go of this grief. I have to let go of this good thing. You have to take the responsibility to let them go. Let them go. You know, Jesus said, Scripture says in 1 Peter 5:7, it says, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. You are the one that do the casting. Matthew 11:27, it says, come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy weary, and I will give you rest. You have to do the coming. Hebrews 4:16, it says, therefore let us come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. You have to do the coming, to let go of lots. Take the responsibility. The second arrow is the ruthlessness. You must be ruthless. Ruthless to let Lot go. Ruthless. Is it going to hurt? Yes. You must be ruthless. Sometimes letting Lord go is like a surgical operation. You have to be ruthless. It has to go. It has to go. You have to be ruthless. There is no turning back. There's no turning back. You have to be ruthless to let Lord go. No turning back. I know there's someone watching this right now and said, this is the confirmation I needed. I need to be ruthless. Yes, it's the confirmation you need to let go. To let go. Yes, you need to be ruthless. It's the confirmation that you need. You need to be ruthless to let Lord go. And the third R, your response when Lord leaves. Don't cry when Lord leaves. You know, they say it's good riddance to bad rubbish when Lord leaves. Your response when Lord leaves says a lot about you. Your response when Lord leaves says a lot about you. Don't cry when Lord leaves. Don't mourn when Lord leaves. Don't weep when Lord leaves. You must have the right response when Lord leaves. Rejoice and be glad when Lord leaves. Yes. Yes, rejoice and be glad. So your response plays a key role when Lord eventually leaves. So I'm just missing Lot. Miss what? Miss what? How do you miss Lot? How do you miss Lot? What are you missing in Lot? You must have the right response when Lord leaves. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. Because now you're about to get into your destiny as you should. The moment Lot left, God came to Abraham and said, Abraham, as far as your eyes can see. You think Abraham was mourning when Lot left? Or maybe Abraham was feeling bad when Lot left? No! So your response is key when Lot leaves. How do you respond? You start to hold a funeral procession. Start to look down and out and gloomy and sad when Lord leaves. No! That's the wrong response. Rejoice! Be exceedingly glad when Lord leaves. Be exceedingly glad when Lord leaves. So, guys, like I said, I felt the need for us to have this conversation today as we wrap up the month of November to remind you to let go of Lot, part 2, right? Seeing it more holistically, seeing it from a different perspective, seeing it from the point of view of what role you play in keeping Lot in your life, and what role you can also play in letting go. There are things that represent lots in our life that we need to let go. It could be friends, it could be habits, it could be perspective, it could be blind spot, it could be unforgiveness, it could be envy, it could be grief, it could be good things. Whatever it is that represents lots in your life, you need to let go, because you cannot do a lot with Lot, and with Lot in your life, you will go through a lot. And that's why we say you must do the 3 arrows: the responsibility, the ruthlessness, and the response when Lord leaves. You have a responsibility to play, to identify Lots. You have a response. You have to be ruthless, to let go of Lot, and you have to have the right response. It comes down to you to let go of Lot. Guys, this is where draw the curtain for today. We hope that you have learned something in this conversation. What a way to end the month of November. Yeah, what a way to end the month of November. It's been an amazing month in the month of November. And like I always say, November born are legendary. Everyone born in November, shout out to you. Shout out to all the November born around the world. You are legendary, right? You'll do great things. As long as you let go of lots in your life, you will do great things. I believe in you. I believe in you guys. So, guys, thank you so very much for joining us on this conversation today. We look forward to seeing you in December, and we look forward to doing Feliz Navidad with you, knowing fully well that you have let go of Lord. What better way to end the month to realize the areas that you need to let go of Lord? What better way? What better way to end the month? So, guys, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who stayed from the beginning to the end of this conversation, for all the comments, all the feedback. Thank you so much. We appreciate them. Yeah, the 3 arrows: responsibility, ruthlessness, and response. Thank you so very much for the feedback. Whenever people become lots, it's time to let them go. Yes. Whenever people become lots, it's time to let them go. Let them go. Because until some people go, you will never grow. So let them go so you can grow. Let them go. Anything that represents lot in your life, let them go. At this point, we'll take a few questions. If you have any question you want to ask, put in the comment section. We'll take the question and then we'll call it a wrap for today. I've had an amazing time. Sincerely, I have had an amazing time, and I've loved the flow of this conversation. You know, last time we talked about it from the perspective of Abraham, Genesis 13. Today we talked about from the perspective of Abraham and Lot, but this time on how it applies to us as humans in our everyday life. So it's not just a Bible story, but our own story, in our own history, in our own time and day. The things that represent lots that we need to let go. And like I say, you cannot do a lot with lots. And if you have lots in your life, you will go through a lot. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're super excited. And like I can always say, feel free. Share this link with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies, because you have no idea what you may just be doing for them to help them become the best that they can be. Like we always say, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why we encourage you that you live good behind so that you can upgrade. And what better way for you to upgrade than to let go of lots? Yes, let go of lots. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you.